In the world of theme parks, where competition is fierce and innovation is the key to success, there's an eerie silence surrounding Disney, isn't there? Today on Edutainment, I'm Eddie, and we're going to be exploring the reasons why Disney may be so silent while their competitor is being so active. While Universal announces its groundbreaking Epic Universe set to open in 2025, Disney is conspicuously silent. Today we unravel the mystery to Disney's response, or lack thereof, to the Epic Universe phenomenon. But before we get into the 5 reasons why the mouse has been so silent, let's dive into Disney's historical dominance and the shift that has occurred. For decades, Disney has reigned supreme in the world of theme parks. Opening in 1971, their most visited parks at Disney World in Orlando really had no opposition in sight. The magic of Disneyland and the enchantment of Walt Disney World have made it the uncontested leader, drawing millions into its spell. But as the years passed, a formidable competitor emerged. And so we have the rise of Universal. In 1990, they opened the doors to their park in Orlando, but it wouldn't be until years later that they actually made the right move. In 2010, Universal made its mark with the opening of Hogsmeade, just a small slice of the wizarding world of Harry Potter. It was a true game changer, starting to bridge that gap between Disney and Universal. The subsequent Harry Potter expansion, Diagon Alley, only solidified their foothold in the industry. And now with Epic Universe on the horizon, Universal aims to make its growth exponential. A new theme park, new rides, and the promise to redefine the theme park experience. The stakes are high and the industry is watching. Yet amidst all the change, Disney's silence persists. But why? Here are 5 potential reasons why Disney may be turning a blind eye to the Universal juggernaut. But before we start, cheers. Stay hydrated. Reason number 1 may be overconfidence in legacy. They may truly believe at this point that they are truly untouchable. Disney's long reign as the industry leader may have caused a sense of overconfidence, causing them to underestimate their competition in Universal. The growth comparison since 2009 between Universal and Disney in Orlando would prove to show that they are formidable. Universal has bridged this gap quickly, but Disney still has a massive advantage that will be put to the test in the coming years. Reason number 2 may be focus on internal growth, which may be causing them to ignore the parks. Disney could very likely be preoccupied with internal growth strategies, channeling their resources to existing projects instead of responding to external challenges. They have had a slew of projects that have recently not had the return they expected. From the purchase of Fox, the downfall of Disney Plus, and multiple movies that have failed to perform. Repurposing the profits from the parks, which are their best performers, seems to be the current strategy to balance out these inconsistencies. Lack of reinvestment in the parks, though, ultimately is leading to them missing out on potential growth that they could realize sooner. This brings us to reason number 3, which is undervaluing the competition and ultimately not seeing them as competitors. Perhaps Disney underestimates the potential impact of Universal's growth, seeing it as a temporary surge rather than a sustained threat. And because they don't see them as true competitors, they may believe that a rising tide raises all ships, and what's good for Universal may be good for them as well. If undervaluing the competition ends up being the true reason why Disney has been so silent, this is going to be a mistake that they will sorely regret. Universal has not only shown that they are formidable competition, in addition to Epic Universe, they already have multiple plans for other projects in Texas, overseas, Vegas, that are moving full steam ahead and will be opening following the years of Epic Universe. And at number 4 is one that really piques my interest, and possibly yours as well. Secrecy in innovation. Does Disney have something up their sleeve? Disney does have a history of surprising the industry with unexpected innovation. For those of you who don't know, in 1964, Walt Disney began secretly buying up millions of dollars worth of Central Florida farmland. He was so secretive about these purchases that he actually ended up purchasing the land under different names to make sure that nobody knew who was actually purchasing it and potentially overcharge him. On November 15th, 1965, Walt Disney arrived in town and announced his plans to build the world's most spectacular theme park, There were three major reasons why Walt Disney chose this land in the state of Florida, and it's because it was connected to new interstates as well as close to the Orlando airport. The swampland was super cheap, and the weather made it so that you could have year-round tourism. And a few of you may be curious, what is this theme park project that Walt Disney had? And some of you may obviously know what it was because of the location. It is what we now know as Walt Disney World, and the secrecy paid off big. He got the land for super cheap, and now Walt Disney World is the biggest winner as far as any of the theme parks owned by the Walt Disney Company. The silence could be a strategic move to keep upcoming plans under wraps up till the perfect moment. And if this ends up being the case, best case scenario, we'll end up getting an announcement of some plans that are potentially expedited to answer the call of their competitors.
Mo's Tavern, Mo speaking.
Yes, I'm looking for a Mrs. O'Problem, first name B.
Yeah, just a minute, I'll check. B.O. problem. B.O. problem. Come on, guys, do I have a B.O. problem here?
You sure do!
And reason number 5 may be the most interesting, the risk of overreacting. And this truly can be a risk for any company. Disney might be cautious of overreacting to Universal's expansion and making potential moves that could be harmful to the brand in the long run. Honestly, if Epic Universe were to underperform, this could be a very smart move. But given the major investment into Epic, Universal is unlikely to allow any shortcomings to go unresolved. That means that they'll potentially make another investment to make sure that any issues are resolved quickly. As Disney basks in the glow of their long-standing success, the theme park industry and landscape seems to be shifting beneath their feet. The silence that once seemed like a strategic choice may now be working against them. My honest opinion is Disney will always be a giant, but will they always be number one? And are they currently making the right decisions to respond to the current landscape? Competition is key, and it keeps on growing around them. Are they responding appropriately? The reign of Disney as the undisputed leader may be facing an unprecedented challenge. The landscape is changing, and as the industry evolves, Disney's lack of response may be a blind spot. And by the time they notice, it may be too late to hold on to their number one spot. The risk and reward to their current strategy doesn't seem to be adding up. But what do you think? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments on the seemingly inevitable landscape change, and do you believe Disney's approach will work? There you have it, folks, 5 reasons why the mouse has been silent. Before you go, thank you for joining us on Edutainment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more thrilling updates. Until next time, don't be awkwardly silent. Let's keep having conversations around the parks that we love. And of course, don't forget to ask yourself, have you been edutained?